What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods, and we are back here with another 2-minute drill. February 22nd, 2021, man. We have some big storylines that happened this weekend, so I'm really excited to go ahead and kick it off today with y'all, man. So let's go ahead and start. This is going to probably be a reoccurring storyline as this team goes through its season, but it's one of the biggest storylines of the spring, and that is Deion Sanders and the Jackson State football team and their spring season in the SWAC. They opened their season against Edward Waters today. Listen, I get it. It's Edward Waters, but 53 to nothing domination. And there were so many questions coming into the season. Can Deion turn all this recruiting success and into on-field success? And will Deion be able to turn Jackson State into a powerhouse in this conference? In the terms of the college football landscape, he's been dominating recruiting, but can he go out there and win games? And the answer was a resounding hell yeah. 53 to nothing in Mississippi Veterans Memorial Stadium today. They look fast. They look disciplined, aggressive, focused from the opening kickoff. Deion Sanders had these boys absolutely balling today, man. You could tell the energy was right. He was posting what was the Instagram lives and Snapchats with Snoop Dogg and everything, getting down to Tupac in the locker room. This dude has these guys loving the game, wanting to play from the jump. They're going to be more motivated, more locked in than any team they probably play this year. And I know they didn't play anybody, or everyone's like, why are we talking about Jackson State? It's not like, they're like, it's not real college football. They held their opponent to 104 yards, only 8 first downs, 1 for 13 on third downs. They went 8 for 8 in the red zones while putting up over 430 yards, guys. That is domination. I don't care who you're playing. You could be playing the high school down the street to give up only 104 yards in your first game when the team's not even clicking all the way is absolutely outstanding, guys. Jalen Jones, 6'4" quarterback, man, is their starting quarterback. He looked elite. I don't know how people missed on him. This kid, I am so excited to watch him throughout the season. He dominated in his time as quarterback, 18 for 20, guys. This kid missed 2 passes. He threw for 187 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, had 40 yards rushing, and another rushing touchdown. This kid put up 4 tubs today. He was all over the field, man, looking like just an absolute elite quarterback for this team. I am so excited to see what he does moving forward. But Deion Sanders is proving something, guys. This is what I wanted to, kind of get along to is if you get the players to believe in you, you get the players that to believe that you can develop them, that you know what's going to be best. You're going to do what's best for them. You can recruit anywhere, man. You can win anywhere. He's proven you can build something at Jackson State down in Mississippi. No one's paid attention to Jackson State, and he's building a powerhouse down there. I am so intrigued to see what he can do in the coming years. And I know everyone's going to talk about the storyline of his stuff being stolen for the second time since he's been there and overshadowed this win. I wanted to give more attention, more credit to this dominating win for Jackson State this weekend, 53 to nothing. I just want to say the only thing I'm going to say about it is if you're the person that just keeps stealing this stuff, what are you doing? Why in the world would you want to steal the stuff of Deion Sanders, who came to Jackson, Mississippi, to get you to the National Providence, has this dominating team out there, been recruiting elite players, and y'all can't leave his stuff alone? He had a boombox stolen from his truck not too long ago, and now he gets his wallet and personal items stolen. I just, I don't get it, Jackson, Mississippi. Y'all need to do better. But I wanted to focus on this game, man. It was an elite performance by this team. I'm really excited to see when his sons get eligible. I'm not really sure when that is. I don't really know the eligibility issues when you go from like, D1 to this, or his youngest son should be eligible too. But I mean, the way that Jalen Jones played today, I don't know if Shiloh's seeing the field very, very soon. But guys, Jackson State dominates their first game. They got Mississippi Valley State next week, so that'll probably be a storyline on next Monday's 2-minute drill, the 29th. I'm going to be following this season, step for step, game for game. So make sure to tune into the 2-minute drill here to get all your Jackson State info, I guess. But now moving on, man. We got to keep these episodes short, so we'll be running through these. Dylan Brooks flips to Auburn, commits to Auburn from Tennessee. Tennessee finally allowed him out of his national letter of intent. This was huge news that flooded the plains of Auburn, man. Dylan Brooks was projected to go to Auburn pretty much his whole recruitment. I mean, this is the kid that was a top 4 prospect in Alabama. He had multiple family members that went to Auburn, and one of his family members played football at Auburn not too long ago. So everyone said this kid is Auburn bound no matter what. And he signs with Tennessee out of nowhere. Just pulled a major flip on Auburn, and all the experts that thought they had it figured out, well, guess what? They did not. He decides to leave Knoxville after the whole Jeremy Pruitt saga. Tennessee at first wasn't even going to let him out of his national letter of intent, which is crazy. Then they released him and said he couldn't go anywhere in the SEC, but then eventually it was worked out where he could go anywhere. He commits to Auburn, I think, less than 48 hours later. So not a surprise here. As soon as he said he wanted to leave, it was pretty much everyone said it's either Auburn or this kid's not going anywhere. And Auburn lands this guy. It bumps Auburn's class up to 20th in the country, all the way up from 30th. That's a huge jump in terms of ranking and perception of how successful Brian Harson's first class was. He got a lot of flack from a lot of people saying this is not a good start for his recruiting. He only had a few weeks to get it together, but everyone was doomsday this, doomsday that. Well, now he's got a top 20 class. He's got the highest rated prospect in this class now, and Dylan Brooks committed. So now I really want to see y'all's thoughts. Y'all can leave them in the comments. Let me know. What's y'all's take on this class now that Dylan Brooks is in here and one of Auburn's most dire needs in an edge rusher is kind of solved? In terms of Brooks, man, 76 overall player in the country, a top 6 defensive end prospect, a weak side defensive end, I believe is what he's classified as on 247. As I said, number 4 player in Alabama, 6'5", 250, man. He has elite flexibility off the edge. He's very, very athletic. His pursuit, his ball instincts are really what make him stand out to me. He was one of my top prospects. I was like, man, we really need to have this kid. But he goes, he had other plans, but now he still wound up back at Auburn. That gives Auburn some really, really nice D-line commits in terms of this class. So I'm really excited for that. And his pro comparison, even if he's half the player that this guy was, I'd be fine with it. Bradley Chubb, just a monster for the Broncos. If this kid's anything like Bradley Chubb, I'm taking it. He's projected a mid-round NFL draft pick, potentially from 247. Kid's got size. He's just got to live up to his potential. This is a big test for Auburn's, new staff. They got a new D-line coach for the first time in a long time. Rodney Gardner has been on the Plains forever. What can this staff do in terms of player development is my big question. Are we going to be able to see, Auburn back in the day? Sorry, this is kind of all over the place, but, Rodney Gardner and this staff, they took Derek Brown 5-star, Marlon Davidson 4-star, turned them into absolute monsters. Both of them are in the NFL now. Derek Brown was the top 10 pick. And then you look at, someone like Jeff Holland, who was just a 4-star, ended up leading one of the SEC leading sack people in 2017. Carl Lawson, Montravius Adams, both in the NFL now. So we've seen a lot of success in terms of D-line development at Auburn. Dylan Brooks, the rest of these guys, this is a big test for this new staff. Plus, this fills an immediate need for Auburn. This was a huge get. This is probably one of the most, yes, he's the highest rated commit. Even if he was a 1-star, this is a huge commit for Auburn because they are lacking on edge presence, edge rushers. Big Cat Bryant, who was their most experienced edge rusher last year, had a chance to come back. He transferred. He was going to go to Tennessee. I believe he changed his mind. Now he might be going to, I think Oklahoma was the favorite now. He might have committed already, but the rumor is Oklahoma. He's gone. And you look at the mass exodus that happened 2 years ago with Marlon Davidson and Derrick Brown. Auburn had a huge need. And one of the biggest problems with this Auburn defense this year is they didn't have that go-to pass rusher. They didn't have someone that could force the ball quickly out of quarterback's hands in terms of bad decisions. Not seeing that, not having a chance to get the ball deep to that open wide receiver, and it really put pressure on a secondary that was young and trying to replace, I think 3 or 4 starters in that secondary for Auburn. So huge burden on Kevin Steele in that secondary. No D-line presence. And the games we saw D-line presence in, like the LSU game, Auburn ended up dominating because the D-line was able to force TJ Finley and the rest of that offense into bad mistakes and also stop the run. So Dylan Brooks should be able to contribute immediately as a true freshman. I believe he could start depending on how he does in spring practice and the summer. I think all positions are going to be open for Auburn. You usually see that with new staff. So I don't think anyone's position is locked. If Dylan Brooks comes into camp and shows out, then he could be a starter. And I think this is a huge pickup for Auburn. One of the biggest last second pickups for any team in the country. But guys, that is your 2-minute drill for February 22nd. We actually stayed under time this time. So, that might be a first and a only for your boy. But y'all know where to check out the 2-minute drill, man, exclusively on YouTube. We'll post episodes on our audio streams when we don't have a normal episode coming out. We have like 4 or 5 interviews coming out in terms of ACC in 28 days. So check it out, man. Right now, Stan Cotton, Wake Forest out today. Tomorrow, man, we have UNC coming out, Georgia Tech coming out the next day, then Virginia Tech coming out the next day. So 4 back-to-back ACC in 28 days. So guys, make sure to check that out wherever you listen to our podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, man, so y'all can stay up to date with all things 2-minute drill, all things Blue Bloods. We'll definitely appreciate it, man. Click that notification bell in the corner. That way you get notified every time we drop a video, guys. But guys, it is February 22nd, man. I hope y'all have an awesome Monday. Get y'all's week started right with the 2-minute drill from the Blue Bloods. But for right now, guys, we are out.